So I hadn't read the book beforehand, but yeah, I know.
All the Lights We Cannot See is a story of hope, love, and innocence. And I absolutely loved this series, and you guys crushed it. Aria, you play Marie, and Louis, you play Werner. Tell me about your characters a little bit and what attracted you to this project. And we'll start with you, Aria.
Gosh, that's a really loaded question for me. I had never considered acting. I always really wanted to do it when I was little, but I stifled the dream inside and I never even dreamt about it. And someone sent me the casting call and I said no. And then I was having a bad week, so I decided to just try it. I never thought anyone would see my tape. And now a lot of people have. But no, I really loved the book. And I went into it with just this mentality of finding myself through reading some lines from a book that I loved. And I never thought that it would take me into portraying a character that's so iconic and meaningful, not just to me and to my mom, who has also read the book, but to so many people around the world. And I think what really connects me to her is we really don't have anything common. I wish I did, because she's just a remarkable person. She's filled with so much patience and hope, and our way of experiencing the world is so vastly different from one another. So I think what really anchored me as, an actor who was just learning how to do my craft for the first time was unpacking those layers. And there's a quality that I really aspire to about her, this like patient, quiet love. And really trying to dig into that and dig into her connections with her characters, and just to learn how to be an actor for the first time through a leading role like this, but such an epic and intimate and beautiful series, has been the greatest privilege of my life. But working with such wonderful people is just icing on top. It's amazing and such a wonderful way to start out in this industry. I'm really grateful.
Very well said.
Yeah.
How about for yourself, Louis?
So I hadn't read the book beforehand, but yeah, I know. But I loved it. As soon as I got the part, I read the book and loved it. I thought it was very inspiring, and it helped me so much creating the character. And I think what drew me to the character was this constant sort of trying to do good while by other people being constantly put down and indoctrinated into this evil, but he doesn't subscribe to it, which I thought was beautiful. And I think it was this sort of like being put down and constant standing back up again, which I just really connected with, fighting for the good and trying to do good.
That is absolutely incredible. Now, Aria, before you got the role, when you were getting your call back, you actually expected not to get the role. So you kind of prepared a speech letting Shawn know that, thank you for the opportunity. But you got the call and he said, well, there are moments in people's lives where things in their lives change.
Oh my God, you've done your research. Oh.
There are moments where they as a person change and things won't ever go back. And I think those are one of those moments for you.
Yeah.
What was your initial reaction after hearing that?
I don't know, because I blacked out, I think. They sent me the video. It was like a 10-minute long phone call. And I really did not remember what happened. I remembered crying a lot, and then my guide dog jumped into my lap because I was crying so hard. And then I remember Shawn asking me if I was okay, I think. And then I really just was like, I need my mom. And so then he called my parents' landline, but because I couldn't remember, I was so blacked out that I couldn't give them cell phone numbers. And the only thing that I could recollect was what they teach you when you're little for emergencies, which is like your parents' landline. And so Shawn called my parents' landline and told them, and I don't remember really any of this. I don't think my parents do. I've watched the video back. We are both completely incoherent. But I did, after I got off the phone, I called my best friend and I called my parents and we talked, and we were just like screaming and crying and just never expected this to happen to me. And then I made 24 chocolate chip oatmeal cookies, and I just ate them by myself and cried and then read the book over. And it was.
That is absolutely incredible. Louis, one of the things that stood out to me when I was doing research on this was you actually learned how to build a radio in 56 seconds.
I can. So usually my prep for character is quite intellectual, but I'm such a big fan of when I can do something physical for the character. It doesn't necessarily mean I have to work out or anything like that, but just something physical, something that the character spends time with. And with this character, it was building radio. So I came in to Budapest quite early and just practiced understanding how radios worked, building a radio, and then eventually at the end of the week, I was able to build one in 56 seconds. So it wouldn't work today because there's too much traffic up in the air. But it would have worked back in the days, I swear to God. Yeah.
That is absolutely incredible. And Aria, I want to talk about preparation for the role simply because Mark Ruffalo said that you were one of the most prepared people he has ever seen.
Seriously?
Kind of come in. Yeah, that come into this knowing like the whole script. Can you talk to me about your preparation for Marie?
So yeah, I knew the script. You could say I knew it inside and out. I also read the book. Like I'd read it multiple times leading up to I didn't know that I was going to do this with my life, but I had already read the book multiple times. So I obviously reread the book. I had a lot of spreadsheets. I would make spreadsheets of book passages and then the sort of scene number that would correlate to the book passage. And anything that I wanted to sort of convey about the character, I had a lot of spreadsheets. I wrote fan fiction from her perspective. I had a playlist, which I know Lewis also had. And then I paired music with scents. So I would have essential oils and stuff like that. And I would just try to ground it through her life. Because I had studied, I didn't know how to build a character. It was my first time. So I'm what makes us us? What do I recollect about moments in my life that have changed me? And it's usually a sound or a song or a smell or something someone said to me. So I tried to build it sort of psychologically, but I'm an academic by training. I'm not an actor by training. So I'm now that I'm an actor, I feel like I should use everything I learned. Yeah. And it's been very valuable, but then you get to set and you just let it go. And what stays in your muscles, it's cool.
Such an incredible approach to your performance. This is fantastic. Lewis, this is for both of you actually, but we'll start with you, Lewis. You guys both get to work with Hugh Laurie in this, who plays Etienne. He is phenomenal. What did you learn from working with him?
Very dark humor. Mm-hmm. Very, very dark humor. He's got the greatest humor. He's the sweetest person on the planet. Well, one of the sweetest persons on the planet. I think it was some sort of precision that he had in the way he worked with the lines and the words and the language, and that precision was something I was very in awe of. Mm-hmm. And I think that's something I particularly learned from him. But he was just an amazing person to have around and just to really fool around as well.
Yeah, no, he's really funny. And I think especially the characters he plays more currently. I know his past work is very rooted in comedy, but I think people may expect him to be quite a dark, brooding figure like Etienne is, but he's just really funny. And yeah, it does go into gallows humor a lot, but yeah, he's just this bright, warm person, and his eyes tell a whole story. So he could say something really serious and you can see the humor in his face, and he's just a really special person and wonderful to work with. And he was a great mentor to me because, like I said, this is my first time, and every person gave me something special. And our scenes together were so tight. Our character work had to be so tight. I just learned so much about developing a character and telling a story through behaviors and through the space between the words from him. He's just a wonderful person.
Well, look, you guys do such a brilliant job of bringing these characters to life. All the Lights We Cannot See is a must-see that's airing currently right now on Netflix. Thank you guys so much for your time. Absolutely incredible performances. Like I said, the series is fantastic. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.